Good morning, students. Today I am going to continue chapter number 4, Agriculture from Geography. And today's topics are number 1 is farm system, number 2 is types of farming, number 3 is commercial farming. Alright. So, students, in my previous explanation, as I told you about the importance of agriculture activity in India. Students, as I told you, in India, agriculture is a very important and main activity because still 2/3 population of India dependent on it to complete their needs and requirement. And people who have different kind of business, mostly they are also dependent upon agriculture based products. All right. And students, in India, due to the favorable climatic condition, and we have 3 seasons like summer, winter and rainy season. That's why people of India are able to grow different kind of crops according to the season. So students, in this series, today I am going to explain about the farm system. Student, as you know very well that everything, whatever done by anyone, that is all done by a system or one by one step. So students, agriculture or farming also a type of system in which the important inputs are seeds, fertilizer, machinery and labor are required to do any kind of agriculture activity. Alright. Students, if you want to grow crop in the field, you have required something or some of the operations which are involved, like number 1 is plowing. First of all, you will do plowing in your field, and after that you will do sowing, and after that you will irrigate your field to grow a healthy crop, and after that extra thing whatever grown in the field you will weeding, and after that you will harvest your crop. So these are all involved as a system one by one, like first is plowing, second is sowing, third is irrigation, and third is weeding, and lastly harvesting. Understood? So students, whatever outputs from this system include or farmers are getting like crops, and if farmers are rearing animals, then they will get wool, and if anyone is busy in dairy farming, then they will get milk, and after that if anyone is busy in poultry products, so then they will get egg. So this is all an example of output which are getting by the farmers to do different kind of agriculture activity. Understood? After that, your next topic is types of farming. So students, as you know very well that farming is practiced in various phases all around the world. But very important thing which are required to do agriculture activity is geographical condition, and number 2 is demand of products and labor, and after that level of technology. All these things are required to do agriculture activity, and people uses all these things to grow a good crop and earning more and more profit. So students, On the basis of this, farming can be classified into two main types. Number one is subsistence farming and number two is commercial farming. So students, first of all, I will explain what is subsistence farming. So students, subsistence farming is a type of farming which is practiced by the farmers to complete their needs and requirement and also to feed their family. And students, in this type of farming, farmers traditionally used low level of technology and family members to do labor in agriculture field, and they are using a very small plot of land to grow or get small output. Okay, so students, subsistence farming also can be further classified as intensive subsistence farming and primitive subsistence farming. All right, so students, what is intensive subsistence agriculture? So student, in this type of farming, the farmer cultivates a small plot of land and using very simple tools and a more or number of labor to do agriculture activity. And student, in this type of farming, mostly farmers dependent upon the natural climatic conditions like number of days with sunshine and fertile soils which are permit to grow more than one crop annually on the same plot of land. And student, in this type of farming or in intensive subsistence agriculture, mostly people grow rice and after that wheat and maize, pulses and oil seeds. Students, one important point you have to remember here that mostly intensive subsistence agriculture or farming done by the people or farmers in the thickly or very dense populated areas of the monsoon regions of South India, Southeast and East Asia. All right. After that, your next topic is primitive subsistence agriculture. So students, primitive subsistence agriculture related to the practiced on small patches of land with the help of primitive or oldest tools, and this type of farming mostly done by forest cover areas and the people mostly dependent upon the monsoons and natural fertility of the soil. So students, primitive subsistence agriculture includes shifting cultivation and nomadic herding. So students, shifting cultivation is mainly practiced by the tribal people or farmers in the thickly or very dense forested areas of Amazon basin, tropical Africa and some parts of Southeast Asia and Northeast India. Alright, and this type of agriculture activity done by the people in those areas where the rainfall is very heavy and quick regeneration of vegetation. So students, you know very well that the northeastern part of India receives very heavy rainfall and there you can see very dense or regeneration of vegetation. So students, in this method, a plot of land is cleared by felling the trees, and after felling the trees, tribals burn them. And when the ashes are mixed with the soil and make soil most fertile. Then a crop like maize, yam, potatoes and cassava are grown by the tribal farmers. And when after some time the soil loses its fertility, the land is left or abandoned by the cultivators, and then cultivators moves to a new plot of land. And again, methods which I had explained above used by the tribal people are farmers to grow crop to complete their needs and requirement. And students, this kind of agriculture activity is also known as shifting cultivation or slash and burn agriculture. Okay? And students, shifting cultivation is also known by different names in different parts of the world, like Jhuming in Northeast India, Melpa in Mexico, Roca in Brazil and Ladakh in Malaysia. Okay? Alright. After that, next one is nomadic herding. So students, nomadic herding is also a very important part of primitive subsistence agriculture, in which nomadic herding is mostly practiced by the herders or by the people who are rearing animals in the semi-arid and arid regions of Sahara Desert, Central Asia and some parts of India also, like in Rajasthan and Jammu and Kashmir. Students, you have to remember here that Rajasthan is very hot region and Jammu and Kashmir is cold region. Students, in this type of farming, herders or herdsmen moving here and there from one place to another place with their animals in search of a regular supply of food, fodder and water. And students, herders or herdsmen moving here and there due to the climatic changes, because for example, during the winter season in the region of Jammu and Kashmir, due to the heavy snowfall, there is no any source of food and fodder and water. That's why, so students, as I told you, in this type of agriculture activity, herdsmen moving from one place to another place due to the climatic change. And in Jammu and Kashmir, when severe winters season started, then people or herdsmen move out from that place to northern plains of India only to provide a normal temperature to the cattle. Alright? And students, mostly herdsmen or cattle reared by the people like sheep, camel, yak and goats. Okay? Because these cattle provide them milk, meat, wool, hides and other products to the herders and their families. Alright. After that, your next topic is commercial farming. So students, in commercial farming, mostly crops are grown and animals are reared for sale in the market. And the area cultivated and the amount of capital used is large. And in this type of farming, most of the work is done by very mechanized machines. So students, Commercial farming also includes grain farming, mixed farming, and plantation agriculture. Okay? So students, in commercial grain farming, crops are grown mainly for business or to sell in the market or commercial purpose. Especially wheat and maize are very important commercial grown grains. And students, in this type of farming, major areas where commercial grain farming is practiced are temperate grassland of North America, Europe and Asia. Students, these areas are dense populated? No. These areas are sparsely or less populated where the large farm is spreading over the hundreds of hectares. And students, due to the severe winters, only a single crop can be grown. Alright. After that, next is mixed farming. So student, in mixed farming system, land is used for growing crops, food crops or fodder crops, and animals is also reared by the farmers. So this type of farming is known as mixed farming. Understood? And students, it is practiced mainly in Europe, Eastern USA, Argentina, Southeast Australia, New Zealand and South Africa. Alright. After that, next and last one is plantation agriculture. Students, in this type of commercial farming, people or farmers grown single crop like tea, coffee, sugarcane, cashew, rubber, banana or cotton. And students, in this type of farming or in plantations farming, large amount of labor and capital or money required. And students, in this type of agriculture activity, produce may be processed on the farm itself or in nearby factories to prevent them from degradation of the products. And students, this type of farming is also required a good and very developed transportation network from the farming field to the industry. And students, major plantations agriculture are found in the tropical regions of the world, like rubber mostly grown in Malaysia, coffee in Brazil, tea in India and Sri Lanka. Alright students, understood? So student, listen my lecture very carefully, and if you have any doubt or confusion, then contact to me. Alright, thank you and have a nice day.